Hi, I'm Michael Bias with PacStates. And I was recently reminded in a presentation I was watching that, you know what? The more things change, the more they actually stay the same. They brought up this new analogy, a simple example that a client needed a 1/4 inch hole. So what's involved? Should be simple, right? But there's so many considerations. What is the surface? Is it smooth or rough? What's the material? Is it metal? If it is, how hard? Is it wood or is it a composite? How deep is the hole? What's on the other side? What's it going to be used for? Does it require a seal, an inner rim? There's so many variations of bits and drills, size and length, wood, metal, diamond tipped. What's the real expectation? What's the outcome? Bottom line is, people don't want to buy a 1/4 inch drill bit. They just want a 1/4 inch hole. So just like phone systems, people really don't want to get into the nitty-gritty technology behind a phone system. They just want a phone system that works. So let's go back to basics. What is a business comprised of? Well, typically you have internal staff made up of people who want to work together to achieve common business goals. I mean, that's pretty much always been why we have a business, right? So how do they communicate? How do they collaborate now? Or do they? We have external calls. That could be remote staff. That could be potential new clients. If it is, how are they handled? What's that first impression? It could be existing clients, vendors. Are all calls treated the same? We find still today, so many times, managers and owners demand that that call be answered within 3 rings. Sounds like great customer service. But what really happens is, well, I call it unintended consequences. Office disruption. Typically, they make all the admin phones ring. So when a call comes in, all the phones ring and the whole office stops to see who's going to answer it. And typically the person that does finally answer the call, because it can't go past 3 rings, can't help the caller. Then they have to stop what they're doing, put somebody on hold, and disrupt other people to find out who can help or track down the person that can help them. So typically this requires a call flow analysis. You know, our goal is to minimize disruptive ringing and get that caller most efficiently, most quickly to the party that can really help them without disrupting the rest of the office. So what does a business need? They need a complete business communication solution that enhances employee productivity and enhances the customer experience. You have so many options today in services and technology. How do you tell the difference? Or do you just go with the cheapest and hope for the best? You know, it's really interesting, more so today than ever before, because PacStates has always promoted using technology to enhance productivity, do more with less. But today it's becoming even more urgent because there's this massive labor shortage. No business owner I talk to can find staff. And those that they do get to talk to have a whole different work ethic. Seems like they just really don't want to work. So how do you give your existing employees the tools they need to meet your business goals? Again, we've been doing this a long time. The more things change, the more things stay the same. So why PacStates? We find that details matter. What seems like a simple, superficial question, who calls you and why, if we do our job right, really turns into a serious consideration that typically uncovers holes or gaps in your communications and identify frustration and communication needs that your existing employees have. So again, you have more options than ever before, but it still comes down to the best overall combination of services, the technology platform, and the ongoing support. So we at PacStates, we have the knowledge and experience to help successfully guide you through this technology journey. And we like to compare it to designing a structure. A thorough understanding of a structure's purpose is required. What's it going to be used for? What are the workflow environments? What kind of offices are you going to have? Are you going to have open rooms with cubicles or individual offices or combinations or flex space? You know, how are people going to communicate? Who's coming in? How are you going to let the external visitors come in? How are they greeted? And most importantly, a foundation of a building really is essential to a successful project long term. I always laugh when I think of this. I remember right out of college presenting a foundation design to a Las Vegas casino. About 2/3 of the way through, they cut us short. They had another meeting to go to because they had to finalize the outside lighting plan. And even as a young engineer back then, I remember kind of chuckling to myself and thinking, wow, if the foundation fails, because all they want to do is cut cost, your lights aren't going to work. So PacStates will make sure that you get the best overall solution at the best overall cost to meet your identified requirements. And remember, I didn't say stated goals because in our analysis, we typically uncover some other requirements and opportunities to improve. So ultimately, we want to enhance staff communications, enhance your customer's experience with you, and bottom line, enhance your bottom line. So thank you. Give PacStates a call. Give us an opportunity to see how we can best serve.